Hi, everyone. It's Jacqueline Hyde, and it is eating and entertaining. Of course, it's my Monday hashtag because you know me. I love to cook and I love to eat and I love to experience entertainment in a new and exciting way. And today is the first installment of a very short series. It might go longer later, but we'll see how this rolls. Of a short series leading up to a very spectacular event. So, this is the first installment of about 6 to 7 weeks of eating and entertaining, where I discuss with our very special guest and other guests as well about wine and about food and about how we can use those to complement our entertainment atmospheres. And since we're moving into a new virtual environment experience, I plan on taking everybody through the food and dining experience in the virtual fashion because, like you do, right? Um, we're leading up to a great production on April 17th, which is the day before my birthday, called the Syndicated Soiree. And this event is featuring an all-star lineup. Like, it's ridiculous. We have Jezebel Thunder, who is a phenomenal burlesque entertainer headlining for us. And we also have, getting my list because, I can't remember things very well. We have Lola Coquette, Moscato Exotique, and Samson Knight, who was just on GMA. I mean, like, oh my goodness, so exciting. And Gigi Holiday and Vera Valentine and Manuel Palma del Rey, Taryn Luce, and Boris, who is from Mexico City. So we have an international crowd, and it's going to be amazing. Anyways, we're going to jump into this. I'm going to bring on my very special guest, uh, who will be with us for a few weeks. And she will be talking with us about a very important aspect to the dining experience, which is wine. So, who doesn't love wine? And so, I am going to bring on the wonderful, stand by, Cher Donnay. Hello.
Hey, it's
How are
so
you?
great. Oh, I'm doing well, Jacqueline. I'm just doing so well. It's so great to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I've been anticipating this all day. I'm so excited. So excited.
I have too because it's been one of those kind of Mondays, and I was like, you know what? I'm I'm actually looking forward to Monday evenings when I can share this time with you, and then I have some other episodes with a couple of other guests during the rest of the week, which is really cool.
That's great.
And so I'm just excited to talk with you, about wine because
Mhm.
wine and snacks, but
That's the four-letter
also
word we love.
yeah, wine and the five-letter word is snacks,
Yes.
and then and just food and entertainment in general.
Mhm.
But also how we can incorporate that more within our virtual
Mhm.
experiences because we are in a pandemic still. We've got to navigate this still. We have to
Absolutely.
leverage either services such as yourself or our local um, businesses that have food service and takeout and whatnot,
Mhm.
even beverage services that they may have, right? So like we want to help to foster a new way of looking at how we experience food and eating, and not not worry too much if there's another person away from us or not, right?
Right. I know it. So
So
true.
I want you first to introduce yourself. Tell us
Mhm.
a little bit about who you are and what brought you to uh, the wine shop.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you for that Wonderful intro. Well, my name is Cher Donnay, aka Patty Turcotte, which you'll see when you go into another site. So I don't want to scare anybody off saying, but first,
Mhm.
let me tell you about a little bit about why I chose to kind of engage with a persona and why I chose Cher Donnay. Well, as we know, it's a cute little knockoff of Chardonnay, but it's
Yep.
also very French. And
Mhm.
Donnay, or it's spelled differently in French, is means to give, and
Oh.
share means cherished. So I thought, because I have a gift of bringing people together, and I have been very blessed with this gift, as well as been able to use it in my daily
Mhm.
life as work and career as an event planner for many, many years now. And that was one of the reasons why I gravitated towards this and jumped in, because it's a new world as far as events go. And as far as all the event experts are saying, it is going to be more of a hybrid world. And the
Right.
reason for that is easily enough, is because we're able to engage at any time, anywhere, um, and anyone. And
Mhm.
even though, sure, it's great to be in person, and we'll always have that. There'll always be, you got
Mhm.
to have that touchy feely, and especially after all of this, I don't think we'll
Yeah.
ever see as many hugs in any one place, right? So, but
Absolutely.
but there'll always be, wherever you are, a component, a virtual component. And
Mhm.
it's amazing to see how that will work. So one of the things that when you think of virtual wine tasting, you go, "How is that possible?" Well, it's
Mhm.
possible. So, and I've seen it firsthand. So, what had brought me to this little, what I call lovingly labor of love side hustle with wine shops, is that I love wine. Well, that's a given, and
Cheers.
I love bringing everyone together, and I love food. So
Mhm.
I mean, the best things happen over food and wine and people, right?
Right.
No brainer. So I was like, Googled it, it popped up, and I went, oh, this is interesting. This is everything I could
Mhm.
imagine it to be. So just a little, kind of history of that, of why I came to wine shops. And
Yeah.
it's I've had a couple of virtual tastings already.
Mm.
One of them I was able to share and package some little samples for some
Oh,
locals and drop them off in a little bag, so you can still do it that way if you
okay.
have some family or friends that are local to you. So there's a couple of ways to do them. But the thing is the creativity with this is
Mhm.
amazing. I mean, you can
Mhm.
do family reunions, you can bridal parties, Sunday brunch, um, pre-show events,
Pre-show
like
or shows in general.
or show events, right? And
Right.
I mean, it's endless. It's just endless. Any way you can think of gathering,
Mhm.
and what's great about it is the wine selections are sent directly to you. You don't
Oh,
have
wow.
to pick them up anywhere. So
Mhm.
once we decide how you want to, how many wines you want to have tasting, because there's a couple of different packages.
Mhm.
We can do it two ways. If you want everything to be shipped to whoever is attending your virtual wine tasting, then we'll choose probably two or three wines, decide
Mhm.
on what they are. Then your guest would purchase those wines, unless you're feeling very generous or you have a wonderful company and you want to thank your employees for being
Mhm.
patient with you and being remote and engage them. This is a great opportunity for corporations and organizations. And
Right.
we've had many, many. Some of our consultants have had Pfizer recently,
Oh, wow.
Lego, Microsoft, a version
Mhm.
Microsoft, and just, I
Mhm.
mean, it's endless amounts of companies that have jumped on this bandwagon. And
You know
basically
what?
to thank,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. Nope, go
You
ahead.
know what I think is really cool is also too is there's the two aspects of this. One, that if you are a small company or a big company,
Mhm,
or just an event just in general, and you wanted
mhm,
to have some standardizations as to what everybody was doing, I love the fact that you could actually also personalize some of the bottle options, which is
Absolutely.
great. How
With your
commemorative
logo. With your
is that?
logo.
Like,
Yes.
I
Which is,
love that.
yeah.
And I love the idea too that you as an event planner
Hmm.
can craft an experience. And I literally just wrote an article on my blog about that aspect that you can still kind of control the event a little bit.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I think the
Yeah.
wine is a great way of doing that. But
Hmm.
also, I love the fact that it comes with recipe cards. Tell me a little bit
Yes.
about that.
Which is amazing. Well, let me show you. We have a wine a month club, a
Oh,
wine
wow.
month club, which is great.
Okay.
So you can have an option of getting two, and they release new wines every month, which is
Every month.
fantastic. Every month. So
Wow.
yeah, there's so many brands of wines. It's incredible, and they're all handcrafted through Wine Shop at Home. They're all exclusive through Wine Shop at Home. They're all artisan wines as well,
Mhm.
developed by our winemaker, Alex Reblo. Reblo,
Oh, wow.
yes. Yes. So and he takes the varietals, the different grapes. The Wine Shops at Home is actually located in Napa Valley. So that's where they're
Mhm.
headquartered. It's the Federick family of Dallas who actually started Wine Shops at Home in 2005. So,
Uh-huh.
but anyway, so our monthly wine club. So this was the ones that I got last month for February. I'm not going to be getting my March yet, but the March wines look incredible. They release them on the first of every month, and they are actually on my webpage. So if you
Cool.
go to www.sharewineevents.com, you will see them there. So,
Very cool.
um, and also any promotions for March too, as well. So
Okay.
these are the labels. Well, I swear I haven't opened these yet. I will, but I haven't yet. You know?
Well, I do have one bottle here, the Family Ranch,
Yes, yes,
as we
that's
were
actually
talking about.
yes, that actually is sustainably, organically grown. Those grapes for that bottle that you have, so which I think is amazing. So
Hmm.
this is the so every month they have a different label that they bring back or they uh, are new, and this is the Fleur Bleu. And so you can tell our winemaker is very French.
Yeah,
So
best
he
wine
comes
is
up with
French.
these great names, which is fantastic. So,
Hmm.
so the wine club that I have is I get a white and I get a red and I get two bottles. So, which is great. And
Ah,
they are $36.95 plus shipping. So, which is fantastic. Most of our wines average anywhere. The lowest price point is 16 and the average is anywhere from 20 to 25, 27.
and that
Which if you
includes the sparkling wines too.
yes, exactly. And if you think about right, exactly. So when you think about going to a winery, that's how much they are. So
Yeah,
it's not like, and of course we have the higher end award winning 97 point plus,
right,
wines, platinum winners that are of course, but that one is $45 as well. And that's the
right.
glory label, which a portion of that actually goes towards helping our veterans too. So
Oh, I
isn't
like
that they
that.
give back as well? How
I like
amazing is that? So,
that's great.
and all of that information is on the website. So, so yes, so when you order your wine, each one comes with a card that
Hmm.
explains all on the front. The winemaker notes the year of the wine, when it was released, how it should be served, your alcohol contents,
Wow.
a fun facts, and everything that you compare it with. Okay, and then on
Okay.
the back you get a fun recipe to go with it. So,
Very cool.
so you're learning. So you're learning
Hmm.
as you go along. And why would you have wine tasting if you get this? Is because I can make it fun. I can make it
Hmm.
interactive because there are four S's to wine tasting. And I'm not going to tell
Okay.
you what they are because you have
Oh,
to
okay.
book a wine tasting in order to find out.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Well, you and
I
I were
can't give it
talking about
all
this
away.
already. Well, we were already talking about this prior, to going live. Is that like I was,
Yes.
you know, thinking about, you know, working with you in this aspect and all of that kind of stuff, and I was just like, hmm.
It, it
So much you
it's
can
it's
do.
pretty much what we're doing right now. It's
Exactly.
It's really what we're doing right now, except I'll ask you to raise your glass and we'll talk about the wine. I'll give you some history. And yes, that's one of the S's is the sniff.
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
got to sniff. Got to see,
I,
sniff, swirl, and sip. There you go. I gave them to you. So
you know what the funny thing about all of this and how it came to fruition and all of that, it actually took a pandemic for me
I know.
personally to go, okay, let's use all of the things that you used to do, girl. Like you used to do TV work, you used to do computer work, you used to do, this, but a little unknown fact is that I actually used to work in the culinary industry, not as
Oh,
support personnel, right? But actually close to very high-end chefs. Like,
wow.
so I have been privileged to work with certified wine connoisseurs
Wow.
throughout the US, and then if chefs that came from Europe and came to work within the space to teach different classes, taking executive chef work. Like, so yes, I do know how to cut a tomato. I'm not very good at it, but I can cut a tomato. And but also too, like understanding how the wines pair really well with different parts of the meal is critical, and it can cause a lot of anxiety on what you're doing. And
Exactly.
so when our mutual friend Rhode Island Red
Yes.
introduced us, I was like, oh heck yeah, let's make
Just
this
a marriage. There's
happen.
a marriage made in heaven, right? So
And then from that, our conversation, I'm like, oh my God, I'm producing a show. Let's do this.
do this.
So
So this
I'm
is great.
so excited to talk about so we've talked about a bit of the histories of
Mhm.
the company itself. And we've talked about what a person gets in their little cards and what type of experience
Mhm.
they could have during a virtual um, tasting. Um, what things can you tell me about uh, your experience doing this that brings you joy, that brings that how you were talking about that coming together?
Mhm. Mhm.
How
Um,
does that fulfill you during a pandemic?
I had a sort of because the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is always known as the night out, right? So I did a tasting with some friends, and we had some mutual people join in,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
we didn't, they didn't know really what to expect, and it was one of my first virtual tastings. But what was great was that the conversation, and there were a few that they didn't know each other. It was the first time they were meeting virtually. The
Right.
conversation just flowed so naturally.
Hmm.
One of the guests had an interesting corkscrew that she's had that she showed everyone. It was, and she brought it out, and I mean, it's just amazing how just a few sips of this wonderful wine can just relax you. The inhibitions go
Hmm.
down, and
Hmm.
everyone was just enjoying each other's company and knowledge about what they were drinking and what it
Hmm.
would go with, and they were all snacking in between, which was great. And one of my favorite things is when I kind of step back for that 1 second,
Hmm.
and when I look at someone's face and I
Hmm.
see that smile or that brightness in the eyes
Yeah.
or that engaged look, that's when I know it's success. And
Right.
even virtually, I stood
Right.
back for one moment as all the rest of them were all talking, saying, "This was great, this was fun," and just went,
Hmm.
"I did it again."
Yeah.
I did it again. So that is my reward. That is
Wonderful.
my
That's
reward.
lovely, lovely, lovely to hear. And I
Yeah.
cannot wait for the next few weeks. And just want to tell everybody about what they can expect for over the next few weeks. So, uh, next week's episode, we talk about
Mhm.
appetizers
Yes.
and whatnot. And we
Yum.
talk a little bit about some of the products and combinations that obviously the wine shop at home has, right?
Mhm.
With
Mhm.
you and all that kind of stuff. Um, and I personally have to admit there's a goodie on there that I might get myself because it's like, ooh, this really sounds good.
I
Um,
know. I know.
and I'm excited about how we can talk about, appetizers next week. But then
Mhm.
in the following weeks, we're talking about white wine. We're talking
Mhm.
about the red wines. We're talking about the dessert wines
Mhm.
as well. And when you use something, with what type of food, what tastes
Mhm.
best with vegan or vegetarian meals, what tastes best with poultry and fish, what tastes best with spicy or um, more soft, savory type of foods. And then also with the heavier foods like the reds, what usually with
Of
with
course.
the meat, the beef, right? Or
Mhm. Mhm.
buffalo. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like you never
Some
know.
bison.
Um,
Yeah, you never
okay,
know.
let's get some bacon in there. Like, and so I'm excited about how we can do that. And then we're going to be talking with everybody too, not just about the wines, but how they can prepare their menu and their experience
Mhm.
for their friends. So you could actually have a night in, but
Absolutely.
everybody's making the same thing, everybody's drinking the same thing, and all of that. So
Mhm.
we'll have recipe recommendations that are outside. Actually, I will have recipe recommendations that are
There you go.
outside the box because I have things that will be coming um, on the syndicated soiree page, because there's going to be recipes there. There's going to be links to uh, share wine events,
Mhm.
and I am really feeling good about this, and I think that will be really cool. There's also some other things that I've got planned too that
Great.
for this, where I get to talk to one of our friends, Moxie Blue, and
Wonderful.
I'm lining up one more
Yay.
um, person for the week of the show. I have a special guest chef.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. So I'm
That's going to be
excited about
great.
having them on. Hopefully, this works out. Moxie Blue and I will be talking about beer
Oh, fantastic.
and our local breweries and whatnot here in Seattle, but just
Mhm.
like breweries in general across the US, so that we can really just help. We're going to help people, Cher. We're going to help people
I love
enjoy
that.
good food
That's
and
that's
drink
that's what I'm
good
all about.
beverages. But
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what?
all
The
about.
one thing I did want to mention to people, because some of my followers don't partake in alcoholic beverages, and what
Mhm.
I loved was that there was some options for non-alcoholic beverage choices from the wine shop at home. I thought that was cool. I thought
Yeah,
that
it
was
is. It is because
classy.
you have to be mindful of
Yeah.
that. You do. I mean, not everyone um, can drink or likes to drink, and so it's good to have those options too. So,
Yep. And so I'm going to share some of my favorite uh, party drinks that are without
mhm.
alcohol, or that you can just
Excellent,
easily
excellent.
add some wine into that. I've got some combinations for
Well,
you.
speaking of which, there
Oh,
are
really?
some cocktail recipes that you can make with the wine that are located on the site that we can talk about.
Oh,
So,
yeah, let's do that because we're going to
because
definitely have
one
to do
of
the
yeah,
celebration time.
oh yeah, there's a really pretty green one in time for the sharing of the
Ooh,
green. So, for the
very
middle of
cool.
March. So, I will
And then
maybe we'll talk about that. So,
absolutely. And also those they have these wonderful additives for celebrations, for making things
mhm.
sparkle. So like those sprinkles, this the you know what I'm talking about, those beverage sprinkles.
Oh
Have you ever
yes,
seen
yes,
those?
yes, yes,
The
yes.
glitter? I would love to
Yes,
try that
it's
with some of the wine.
amazing. I know.
I think
I,
that would
I
be
know.
really
Like, can you
cool.
imagine? Woo, a little gold in there. A little. I
Mhm.
love it. I love it. I love it.
So
I
there's
love it.
so much coming in the
It
next
really
few
is.
weeks. And we want everybody to obviously get tickets to the syndicated soiree with an
I'll be
all-star
getting
lineup.
mine.
You
I'll be getting
better,
mine.
because it's gonna be
I
awesome.
wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss
Um,
it. So
I literally pushed, you know, like publish last night, and uh, tickets started going, and I'm like, oh,
of course, of
I didn't realize
course.
that was going to happen. Okay, cool. So I'm excited. Everybody needs to
Yeah.
get their tickets. What's really awesome is that not only do we have you connected in on that ticket page, right?
Which is great.
But everybody can watch these episodes on that page. So they can
Fantastic.
watch it in the real time, or they can watch the later episodes.
Hmm.
Also, too, they will be able to watch the show from that page.
So
And
everything will be on that page.
everything will be right there. And the night of the show,
Amazing.
there will be all the all the gratuity
Of
links
course. Of course.
for all the performers and whatnot. And it's just going to be awesome. And I'm
Amazing.
blessed to have you join us, Cher. And
Oh, well,
I'm
it's my
excited.
pleasure. I'm so looking forward to it. I really am.
I'm
I'm excited.
I I think this will be a fun project for us.
I think so. I do.
So
I needed a project. So
you
thank
needed a
you.
project. It gets you back into that rhythm for the work
It
for the
does. It
wine
does.
tasting.
So it does.
So
It really does.
everyone, you want to make sure that you go to sharewineevents.com and you want to purchase um, some wine for this coming week. Just choose something. We don't care. Just
We
choose
have
something.
a great promotion happening right now.
Ooh,
That is,
let's talk about it.
if you buy 3 wines, the third
Uh-huh.
bottle is going to be 50% off, and then the shipping and handling is roughly $15. So which isn't bad.
Wow.
Yeah, and we
Hey,
ship to almost every
almost
state,
all. Yeah.
almost all of them. I think there's 5 we don't, but
Yeah,
we
and isn't
definitely,
like Florida broken by county or something like that?
yeah, something like
It's
that.
really
Yeah,
it's really wacky.
it's
It's
really. We just got Kentucky, which is exciing.
well,
Yay!
heck,
I know,
Kentucky,
right? So
the
Kentucky Derby, here
whiskey.
we go.
Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing that I wanted to make sure everybody knew is that it is encouraged to dress up for the syndicated soiree and
Oh,
share your looks, your red carpet looks
oh, now we're talking.
on
Now
social
we
media
are
because
talking.
I want to
I
know what
am,
people are
I am
wearing
in.
to the event, the webinar, and I'm excited.
Time to go
So
shopping.
time to go shopping, and you can totally. I am okay with wearing a Catherine Delish robe and pajamas. I am okay with this.
Beautiful,
Done all
beautiful.
the things, and so Cher, you and
Yes,
I next week. I'm going to
looking
close
forward to it.
this episode up, but you stay on with me, and we're going to have a little chat afterwards,
You got it.
and all of that. So I'm going to close this up a little bit. Stand by. So everybody, I am super duper excited for everyone to um, come to the syndicated soiree. Get your tickets, like legit. I have goals. This girl has some goals, and I want to see as many tickets sold as possible because every single performer that is in this event is actually getting paid, not by tips. They are getting paid a, a a wage for the performance, and we're getting back to that new normal and rekindling the experience that artists have with payment and perform for their performances. So I'm really excited about sharing that with you. And it is a diverse, insanely diverse cast. And check out the page. You see the ticket link below, and it will be in the description of the YouTube events. And I'm going to have to go back and do it for the Facebook one, things. It says tech things. But anyways, I want to see red carpet events. I want to see what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, and all those things. Plan, plan, plan. Let's make a party of this magic and let's celebrate friends, family, loved ones, snacking, and pajamas if need be, and all of that. So I'm Jacqueline Hyde, and this was Eating and Entertaining.